Hey, hey. She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to.
All right, we in the building, out of bounds. SDR and cut. I guess we too deep today. Looking for the rest of the gang today, but we in the building. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube listeners? What's up, Transistor listeners? Spotify, Google Play, everybody. We here for another week. It's actually been a good week as far as news is concerned for sports. And with that being said, I think we're ready to rock. We ready to rock?
Ready to rock. Let's go. Dread Sox in the building. You know, rocking my Red Sox gear today.
Uh-oh.
So, fuck all you Yankees.
Championship shit. We in the building.
When I shoot my shot, that shit wetty like
Drake. We gotta shut Drake up first. My apologies. Now we can go. Well, it's another Saturday. It's great. I think the rain has stopped out here. You think we're going to get some more? Are we supposed to get some more?
I think it's supposed to rain. I think tomorrow, but who knows?
Hey, what up, Trill? I'm sick of this shit.
You sick of the rain?
Yeah, I'm sick of this shit. I mean, if the rain had came over the weekend or something like that where I wasn't working, then it might have been different. But the rain fucking came for me while I was at work, and I work outside. Like, I do deliveries and shit. So I'm out here dealing with these wet-ass boxes, big-ass pipes, no homo, that, you know, got to carry around and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyways.
I work from home.
Yeah. So he loving that rain. Like, yeah.
So I didn't have to get out the house at all.
Sit back in his silk pajamas, getting it cracking, getting all the work done. Anyways, yeah, it's been a big week. We're going to talk some NFL sports. Start off with that. One of the great feel-good stories so far for me, I feel like, coming out of this next season so far is Le'Veon Bell finally been released by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They full out released him. He's an unrestricted free agent coming into next year. And it looks like it paid off for him. It looks like he called bluffs and they called bluffs. And at the end of the day, this game of chicken goes to Le'Veon Bell. What are your thoughts on if the Steelers made the right choice?
I think they did make the right choice of letting him become an unrestricted free agent. You know, they could have pulled a dick move and put him on another what is that contract that they had him? I forget the name of the contract, but they could have put him on another contract and held his rights and shit for a whole nother year, because since he didn't sign this past offseason, they technically still had him under their belts for at least one more year. So I think it's the right move. Give him the opportunity to go out there and prove to teams that, you know, he can help them win moving forward and shit.
Yeah, I agree. That's a yeah. I think it's a good thing for the Steelers as well. They need to move in a new direction, and like we discussed last week, they don't want to have a bad reputation of holding players hostage or not doing right by players, because it already looks pretty bad on them for the fact that they, you know, held on and kept him hostage as long as they did, on top of them not even paying him from the beginning like they should have done, for real.
Right. Yeah, they should have gave him more money, and at the time when because I mean, he was top 3 back in the league at that time, and they should have gave him more money and gave him the opportunity to prove to them why they paid him. You know what I'm saying? But they failed to do that, and I think it's going to come back to haunt them once he finds a team to sign with, because now he can sign with anybody. They can't dictate who he goes to. And you got teams like the Colts who I think they got like $108 million in cap space. The Jets, they got like $100 million in cap space, and then you got other teams. You got the Buccaneers, who've been mentioned about picking them up. Shit, he might want to come out west and play for the 49ers. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? There's teams out there that could definitely use him and, use his services, and just him alone could probably boost their whole entire season next year. So I think it's going to be a great move, and I think it's going to come back to bite the Steelers, and they're going to be pissed. But I don't give a shit. So as a Cowboys fan, fuck the Steelers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the Steelers on the decline. I ain't see too many Steel Curtain posts this year as much as I normally do.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Steelers looking like they're on the decline with that. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But I'm really hoping that I would love to see Le'Veon go to Indianapolis. I would love it.
With the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be a great move for him. You know what I'm saying? Because they already got T.Y. Hilton as a wide receiver, and then Andrew Luck proved that he's, came back from his injury very well, and then the Colts built that offensive line to protect Andrew Luck, and so I just think, man, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Trill commenting. He could very well not get paid what he wanted to by the Steelers. We'll have to see what the contract looks like. So yeah, I think he's saying he could not even get the money that he wanted to get from the Steelers. Do you feel like he's gonna have that highest paid running back contract? I think definitely there's no discussion. He's not gonna have the highest contract, period.
He's gonna have the highest contract because he's gonna get his money based off of what Todd Gurley just got.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna get his money. I don't know. He's talking about he want $19 million. I don't know if any team's gonna give him that. If it is, it's gonna be somebody like the Jets who has the availability and don't really have other talent around.
Yeah.
So it's I know a lot of players, they want the money because the contracts aren't guaranteed, but at the end of the day, as a player, I would want the money and I would want to win. So I would have to figure out that financial, like, what would I be happy with and still give me the opportunity to be with a great team where I could have a chance to win a Super Bowl and shit. So I agree with Trill. He may not get the 19 he thinks he's going to get, but I think he might get like 15, 16.
And Trill said, what about the Chiefs?
I don't know if the Chiefs will have the money because I think
they
Tyreek Hill's coming up, Travis Kelce's coming up because those are all young guys still.
And boy,
contract wise,
and they gotta pay Mahomes. Very soon. I mean, not this year, but they gotta pay Mahomes, and they're gonna be breaking the bank for him. So
yeah,
I mean, Le'Veon Bell, if he went to the Chiefs, I think he'd be kind of getting himself into another situation where he's kind of the odd guy out.
Right.
Again,
Right.
Because I'm not sure. And I think that the Chiefs might have felt like they saved themselves a little something by not having to pay Kareem Hunt too.
Yeah,
that would have been another contract they would have had to pay. So yeah, I don't know about the Chiefs. I don't know if they got enough money, like we said, and definitely don't. I mean, right now, but definitely don't have enough money in the future to pay all of those guys. And but I mean, let me ask you this then: would you any of those three players that we just named? Of course, not Patrick Mahomes, but any of those three players we named, would you let one of them go for a top rank Le'Veon Bell, like top of his game?
No,
because
the way the game is played, you're playing. If you have a great tight end and you have a great wide receiver, you're pretty much going to be killing it just because the game has changed to more passing than running. So I know Le'Veon Bell can, catch the ball out the backfield and stuff like that, but I don't know if they would even think about letting Travis Kelce go because obviously he's solidified himself as the best tight end in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyreek Hill, top. Some people say top 5, I say top 10 wide receiver in the league. So it's like, you're not going to give up those two, considering it's a passing game, to have a top running back in the game.
I agree. I agree. It's gonna be kind of a situation where I'm not sure where he'll feel is the best spot for him. What he feels the best spot for him. But I'm really liking the Colts. I love to see what they could do with a really big running threat. With that line, the way that lines were looking for Andrew Luck. So where else? Anywhere else that you feel like you like it'd be interesting to see him at?
Not really. Not really, because like
Cowboys?
nah, man, we got Zeke Elliott. Nah, because like all the top teams, they have their running back of some sort. Maybe he might fuck around and go to the Patriots. Shit, who knows?
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Just to stick it to the Steelers. But the Patriots ain't gonna pay him $20 million, so I don't know. I think the Colts or the Jets is gonna be the top two spots.
Trill says I think the Chiefs would be a place he goes because of the win factor. I think this will be the best situation for him to win sooner. I mean, that's if Le'Veon cares about winning. I mean, it looks like he cared more about the money because winning was an option in Pittsburgh as far as I think everybody thought this year.
Right.
Winning was an option in Pittsburgh. So we'll just have to see. Maybe winning is very important to him. Maybe, but it obviously isn't more important to him than the money.
All right.
But he might not get that money. So there's gonna have to be some type of decision made. I don't know. But big ups to Le'Veon, man. I know he feeling like a free man. Free to go wherever he choose. And that's something that doesn't come often to superstars in the NFL.
Right.
So we'll see how Le'Veon Bell does on that note. Let's move into talking about Antonio Brown, another Steelers player who wants out, and I guess he may feel it since the Steelers are in such a releasing mood. They're in such a releasing mood. They might as well let him go as well. Shout out to Ricky T, our guest last week. He said, "Why not Baltimore for Le'Veon?"
I don't know if that would fit for Le'Veon because Lamar Jackson I just don't know. Like, I don't know.
Baltimore would just.
That would be a tough one. Like, I would have to actually sit down and think about that because, I mean, right now, they don't really have any wide receivers.
Right.
So, if you were to put him on that Baltimore team.
He'd be your number one wide receiver.
Yeah. And so then you're going to have issues with Lamar Jackson and Le'Veon Bell. So then motherfuckers are going to stack the box 9 deep and cause issues for them to be able to run the ball. So I don't know if that one would work for them, just the scheme and everything.
If this was before the Tim Tebow days, maybe. Before the league caught on to that shit. Yeah, that could probably be a very deadly spread option or read option.
Yeah.
But nah, I don't know. That would be an experiment if Le'Veon went there, if you ask me. That would be something that I feel like he's not coming into an already functioning and solid organization as far as their strategy and the things that they're going. They just started moving in a new direction. They just traded their once franchise quarterback 2 years ago.
Yeah,
was their franchise quarterback, and now they're starting over with Lamar Jackson, which a lot of people are criticizing as far as his throwing ability.
Yeah, I just don't think that one will work at all.
Now back to Antonio Brown. Like I said, hopefully they are in a, well, I guess it's not a releasing mood. They ain't gonna release him no matter what. If anything, it'll be a trade, definitely. I don't see it. I see them holding on to Antonio. They got Antonio until 2022. 2022. They got him for 2 more years, 3 more years. Yeah. 4. Well, he just signed this contract then.
Yeah. I think he's only 2 years into the deal.
I don't know.
But I think they'll find a trade partner with him. Because, I mean, they don't have to trade him, but if they don't trade him, what's Antonio Brown going to do? Is he going to sit? And if he plays, is he going to play to, like, fuck up the game, or is he going to get his numbers? Is he going to continue to do his shit and get his numbers? You know what I'm saying? So I think the Steelers are going to trade him. I think with the GM coming out and, you know, making it seem like nobody can say nothing and question Big Ben about anything that he does, anything that he does or says, I think the Steelers made it loud and clear that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get rid of everybody who questions Ben.
Yeah.
And I do believe that they'll trade him. I think it was yesterday I seen that the GM said that they will not trade him to anybody in the AFC. So it's going to be NFC teams only that can basically bid for him.
Yeah.
And it's going to all depend on who has what the Steelers want. You know they're going to ask for a boatload of shit just because they can. So.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. And they could be looking at Antonio Brown as a problem as far as in the locker room. So that could be a reason why they would want to trade him, get him out of there. I don't know, man. Letting go of Le'Veon and then trading Antonio Brown, which I don't think you're not going to run away the winner of that trade.
No.
You're not going to run away the winner of that trade. So I feel like they're in rebuild mode. And then what's the reason for Ben to stay in?
Right.
Because he's already been finicky about whether he's going to stay or retire.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Oh, what make y'all think I wouldn't come back?
Yeah.
You know, it's just switching up. So
the last 4 years he's been retiring, unretiring. So yeah,
and they didn't even make the playoffs this year. So without an Antonio Brown and without a Le'Veon Bell, are we looking at the Steelers as
falling off?
Falling off.
I think so, and I think Juju Smith is a good receiver, but how much is that because Antonio Brown is on the other side of the field, getting double teamed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? DB safety over Antonio Brown, that's leaving Juju one-on-one. So when you become the number one and now you're getting doubled, how great are you really? So I think the Steelers got a lot to think about. They got a lot to think about. They obviously just lost Le'Veon Bell, and James Conner did his thing last year, but James Conner is not Le'Veon Bell. So the production is not going to be there year in and year out consistently. It's not going to take the pressure off of Ben in the passing game. So I don't know. The Steelers got a lot to think about. Hopefully that whole team just loses every game next year.
Yeah, the playoffs, that leaves that, and I think it'll be a good thing for the league as far as the Steelers falling off, because that leaves a playoff spot that's pretty much been solidified and occupied for, a good chunk of this decade by the Steelers. I think that's going to leave a spot open for another team to solidify, which I think will be
the Browns.
The Browns?
Yeah. I think the Browns will make moves, and they won 7 games this year. I had them winning 6 last year. They won 7 this year. So, and they were only, basically a game and a half out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they beat Baltimore and they never tied, they would have been in the playoffs. So they were there already. So it's just, I don't know. I think it'll be the Browns and then the Baltimore Ravens. I think Cincinnati's still in the toilets, and Pittsburgh's going to be right there in the toilet with them.
On your face right there. It seems like it's having a problem zooming. Shout out to Trill. Said if they lose AB and Bell, the Steelers will definitely be set back a few seasons. Juju will hold them down, but I don't know if they will be as competitive. Yep. Look at Ocho, T.O., and Dez. He was responding to you, I think, when he said that. Team spent really tolerate locker room shit. Team spent. I think he meant teams aren't really tolerating locker room bullshit. Teams don't really tolerate locker room bullshit. Okay, I see. Yeah, gotta get that right, brother. Nah, the AFC East will be like the NFC East. So he thinks that with the Steelers, correct me if I'm wrong, he thinks that with the Steelers declining, it will make for a more competitive AFC East, kind of like the NFC East is. Which don't get me started on why the Dallas Cowboys are in the NFC East, but
I agree. It will be more competitive, but if you lose your top two offensive players and all you have is Big Ben, you know what I'm saying, who's finicky himself, I think it's going to be a 2-team competitive race and not all four, because Cincinnati is trash. Like,
yeah,
Cincinnati's trash, and
might change
now that Marvin Lewis is gone. I don't know.
Things might change. I mean, do you feel like with the right coach in place 4 years ago, the Cincinnati Bengals would have at least made a championship game?
An AFC championship? Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I don't even know. Well, yeah, maybe different coach, but a lot of those players, they did that shit to themselves on the field, man. They fucking penalties after penalty on the field themselves, Yeah. And that's, you can blame it on the coach, or that's coaching, or that's not discipline, but that's not that, man. Nobody told Ndamukong Suh to fucking stomp on somebody's leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't say that that's the coach's. That's that motherfucker on the field's issue. Vontaze Burfict, that's his shit. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who's going out there and late hitting, helmet to helmet, trying to kill a motherfucker on the field. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they might have, because they did have a decent squad and nice talent.
Yeah, they did. And their defense was pretty solid. Very solid. Shout out to Ricky T again. Says AB to the Niners. I think that's where he wants to go. Whether the Steelers will be petty or whether the Niners have what the Steelers want. I mean, this is gonna probably be a draft pick, right? You think?
Oh, multiple draft picks.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be about draft picks. It's not going to be about players.
Yeah, it's definitely about draft picks. Can you give me a first round, second round? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said the Steelers are going to ask for as much as they can, and then it's going to start working its way down.
Who's got number one draft?
Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Yeesh.
I think it's the Cardinals. And then the Niners got the number 2.
Is Larry Legend coming back?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he 1 more year. So,
I don't know.
I think like the 2 teams that I've been hearing the most is the Niners, and then I've also heard the Packers, as far as NFC teams go. So
that'd be a.
But the Packers, I mean, I don't know if they'll have the money after giving Aaron Rodgers as much as that man's making. So, and Antonio Brown, he's on a team-friendly contract. Like, he's only making $13 million a year. He's a $22 million cap hit this year, but after that, he's only $13 million a year.
Right.
So that's very team-friendly for his talent as a wide receiver. So it's just It's just a matter of who wants to pony up. And I don't even know if the Packers would have the type of draft picks that the Steelers want.
That's what I mean. So I think that I think that it's definitely gonna be about draft picks, and it's probably gonna be to one of those top 5 teams in the draft.
Send his ass to the Raiders.
Boom. Nah. That's not gonna work for
I'm not saying
that's not gonna work for Gruden.
I'm not saying it's gonna work.
Gruden don't want no Antonio Brown. He needs unproven talent that he handpicked out of here and there and there. He wants to be Bill Belichick today. Today. Put some respect on Gruden's name. All right, but anyways, yeah. I think Antonio Brown is going to be well served wherever he goes. Going to be well welcomed, wherever he goes. But I'm still holding skepticism on whether or not the Steelers will go ahead and let him go. So, we'll see. More NFL talk. Colin Kaepernick recently settled. Colin Kaepernick and the NFL settled in court to stop the nonsense. That Colin Kaepernick was doing in court. Early on, people thought that maybe Colin didn't have a case, but it became real fast once the judge said, we're taking this to trial, that Colin had a case, and now we see that he probably had a pretty goddamn good case.
Yeah,
the NFL wouldn't have settled this if he didn't have a great case, because the NFL not worried about saving money. They can go head to head with a Colin Kaepernick money wise.
Oh yeah,
any day.
I mean, you see what they did with Tom Brady. You see what they did with Ezekiel Elliott. Like they didn't.
Tom Brady got way more money than Colin Kaepernick got.
Right, and they didn't just take it. They didn't with those two. They were like, all right, you fought. Okay, we're gonna fight again. You fought. We're gonna fight again. You know what I'm saying? So
and Tom Brady had the backing of the Players Association. I don't think Colin Kaepernick. I think he was acting on this alone.
Yeah, him and Eric Reed.
But they were acting on this alone.
Yeah,
there was a rogue mission. Okay, so the NFL definitely could have went head to head with them in court if they felt like they would have won. So it's obvious that we can just come to this conclusion now that the NFL definitely are guilty in the fact that they colluded to keep Colin Kaepernick out, to blackball him.
Right.
With that being said, do you feel as though it was a bad thing? It looks bad on Colin for settling. Because some people are looking at it as if, he sold out for the money.
Right. I don't know if he necessarily sold out for the money. You know what I'm saying? He got whatever the undisclosed amount is that he got. So it wasn't. I don't think he necessarily sold out. I think it was more the fact that the league was like, all right, man, you got us. You know what I'm saying? And
Shout out to Z calling me.
My bad.
Shout out to Z calling me. My love.
That threw us off.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean, you could look at it as a bad move for Colin because he could have just kept going. If the case was like that solid, he could have kept going so he could expose the NFL. But I think he just wanted to get it over with. I think he's gonna be back in the league. Personally, my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna get back in the league. What role he's gonna play, I don't know. He may not be a starter right away. This may had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? That he's gonna get back in the league. But nobody knows the exact amount because it hasn't been disclosed. And all reports that I've read says that both teams agreed mutually that they will not expose how much money was settled on. So these reports that it was 60, 78, these are just made up numbers by motherfuckers who want to say, oh, he sold out for this much.
I think it's more than 60 or 80 too.
I do too. And so I don't know. It's a tough one, you know what I'm saying? You can say he sold out for the money, but then you can also say that the NFL just didn't want to fight it because they knew. And so he was like, all right, maybe he wanted the admission for himself that they colluded against him and not necessarily the admission for the world.
Because I think he got his point. I think he if you ask me, he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. Like I said in the beginning, when this lawsuit was announced, a lot of people scoffed at it. Like, come on, you're not gonna do nothing with this lawsuit. Like this is gonna get thrown out. And the NFL is just gonna be on top of that, and look how far it went. Yeah, and the fact that they settled out of court, that is the NFL taking the lesser of the admitting of the guilt. If they took this, they would not have settled if they didn't feel like the outcome of the case would have been them having to give out too much information, have too many people outed as far as what they actually did. Because like I said, for this lawsuit to actually hold weight, there needed to be actual proof that they can, you know what I'm saying, that they colluded to have together to have them out. And I think a lot of people thought there wouldn't be any proof, but the fact that they settled, there was obviously some proof and some dirty stuff that might have happened.
And when it first started, they said Cap's lawyers and shit like that, they subpoenaed the owners' emails and phone records. So maybe something within those records, you know what I'm saying? Because if you got the right person on the job, they can bring up emails even if you delete that shit.
Oh yeah.
So
that shit is not gone.
So there was something definitely. And obviously Eric Reed was involved in the lawsuit as well, and he was in the NFL. Like, so he didn't stop his collusion lawsuit against the NFL, even though he was on the field playing. So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, unless you get like all the clear facts, it's just tough to just talk about it and make your opinion, especially with so many people, that were upset with the fact that he actually took the knee. So the negative narrative is out there no matter what.
Right.
Just because he took the knee.
Right. I definitely do not at all feel as though he sold out for the money. I believe that Colin was after one thing and one thing only in that case, to prove that the NFL blackballed him.
Right.
And that they were in concert with each other to do so. And I think with the settlement, he knows, Eric Reed knows, and everybody else knows, unless you're just stupid and don't understand how settlements work, that the settlement is an admittance to guilt without officially being found guilty.
Right.
That's saying I'm guilty, but we're not going to say I'm guilty.
Right.
So, and I think the NDA on both sides I think it helps both sides. I think it's something that is mutually beneficial to both sides. It'll help the NFL to not disclose how much they gave Colin. It'll help Colin's side not to disclose how much they got.
Agree.
So we will, of course, at some point in time know how much this deal was for. Yeah.
It'll magically leak.
Yeah, it'll come out. It'll come out. But until then, I think Colin did the right thing, and I salute him for actually going through with this, because this could have been a really long battle, a really long and financially inclining battle. It would have kept increasing. So, shouts to Colin Kaepernick, man. You want to take a second to kneel down or something? No, I'm fucking with you. I guess we'll talk about Robert Kraft. Now, I'll admit that I'm not too well endowed on how all of the stuff that's happening. But from what I do know, I'm going to just read this report. Some of this I know already. Robert Kraft will be officially charged by prosecutors early next week, according to Palm Beach County State's Attorney's Office. Police in Jupiter, Florida, announced Friday that they had charged New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft with 2 counts of soliciting prostitution. The charges resulted from a string of busts on the massage parlors that, according to law enforcement, were used for prostitution and human trafficking along the state's treasure coast. If convicted, Kraft could face a maximum, I like how they put maximum, a maximum of 120 days in county jail. Now,
4 months.
Now, I'm sure that one of the first people Robert Kraft called was Meek Mill. I'm sure he called Meek Mill immediately, like, bro, how does this prison shit work?
Man, he ain't doing no time.
Nah, he ain't doing no time at all. Now, from other things that I've heard about this is that as far as the investigation went, they had undercover cameras and stuff like that in the massage parlors, which recorded interactions between customers and the female employees. With that being said, that makes this thing a whole lot deeper than just allegations. If they're charging someone when they have had footage, when they've had cameras taking footage, I'm assuming somebody's on camera.
Oh, yeah. Well, they reports yesterday and today said that they have 2 different videos of Robert Kraft receiving the sexual pleasures. So, he claims he denies it and everything else. Man, he did it, obviously. It was reported that it happened in January, right before the Super Bowl. So he was down in Florida partying once they realized they were going to the Super Bowl. But unfortunately, he's a billionaire, and nothing's gonna happen to him. He'll have this little black mark over his head. The league will fine him a couple $1 million, couple of draft picks, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a sad situation and it's a bad situation, but at the end of the day, he's not going to be charged with any prison time, I should say. He might get like little probation or have to go to some sex anonymous shit like that. But the reports this morning was saying because usually when it's first time offenders, the charges aren't really upheld. Other than like where they have to go and take some mediation class or something like that. So I don't know what it's going to entail. Yesterday when I was listening to it on the TV, they were saying that he's not even the biggest name involved in this whole sting.
Probably not.
So
I mean, we got people that probably see. That was one of my things where I was waiting to hear. I was waiting to hear something like he was the owner of some of these parlors or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting to hear something like that. So the fact that I didn't hear something like that makes me feel like he probably won't get jail time. Now, if they were talking about him being an owner, and we're talking about, they use words like sex trafficking, like human trafficking. That shit gets real.
Oh yeah.
That shit gets real. But they're only charging him with soliciting prostitution. So that means he was just a customer.
Right.
Hopefully for him and the Patriots organization. Because if somehow Robert Kraft gets implicated in human or sex trafficking, that's the end of Robert Kraft's owner days.
Oh yeah, he would definitely have to sell the
He would
team.
have to sell his team.
I mean, look what they did to Richardson for the Carolina Panthers. They forced him to sell after he was doing all what he was doing to the women in his organization.
Exactly.
So he would definitely have to sell the team. He would definitely human trafficking. I think he would definitely go down.
That'd be some jail time.
So
If it was found that he was illicit in the stuff that was going on, that he was definitely knowledgeable of it. But it looks like Robert Kraft just wanted a little hanky panky. He just wanted a little hanky panky. So
he was down in Florida partying, man.
yeah. I'm gonna post this question. I'm gonna post this question here in the live feed. Do you think Robert Kraft will serve some jail time? Let us know what you think. Like we said, we don't think he will. But I guess buying some kitty cat is is not above anyone.
No.
You know what T.I. said? It ain't tricking if you got it. Something like that. He said. Something like that. He said. Do you think that this will cause some other people to maybe get caught up in stuff like that?
Like in his organization or just people in general?
People in the NFL. Think they got some more people on tape? Nah.
I don't know, because I mean, they said he's not the biggest name in this whole sting. So I mean, does that mean there's politicians down there doing that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they mean by he's not the biggest name? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't understand. It's like, okay, well, he's a pretty big name. I mean, he's the owner of the Patriots. 18 years that he's on the team, they got 6 Super Bowls. They've been to how many championships? And
Donald Trump.
You know what I'm saying?
They got Trump. They got him. I don't know. If they say he's not the biggest name, I don't understand who's bigger than Robert Kraft right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it's
the Amazon guy.
No.
He out there wilding anyway. He out here wilding anyway. It's the Amazon guy.
No.
Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, I got his name right. I just pulled that from out of nowhere. Jeff Bezos.
No, I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? So that's weary to me. But at the end of the day, the more money you have, the less shit's going to happen to you. So, and because he's a billionaire, he's going to take like a $2 million fine from the NFL, probably lose like 4 draft picks, some stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, look what happened to the
Bill need those draft picks, man.
Look what happened to the Colts owner. He didn't face no charges, you know what I'm saying?
He was drunk driving,
under the influence, had cocaine in his fucking car.
Partying.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing happened to him.
Lit.
He got fined by the NFL, but nothing happened to him legally. So it's, there's other people.
Yeah.
The owner of the Browns, he got charged with fraud and money embezzlement. But yet he still owns a team. So
the life of a billionaire.
That's exactly what it is.
The life of a billionaire. All right, man. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do it like this right here.
They be tricking, they tell them girls.
Say you can have whatever you like. We'll be right back. Out of bounds. We're going to take a break, a big break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.